Hi, I'm Margie Remmers, creator of the fast and easy way to QuickBooks Online ProAdvisor certification. And this is a pre-recorded live stream. This coming week, we typically have our live streams every Friday at 11 a.m. But this coming week, I am going to be at a conference, but I didn't want you to miss out on your free exercise of the week. So I wanted to just hop on pre-recording this so you guys have it. So just a little bit about what this is all about. This is our live stream that we typically hold every Friday inside of our free Facebook group called the QBO Gym Locker Room. The QBO Gym Locker Room is your spot for hands-on practice using QuickBooks Online. This is what we are all about. Hands-on, hands-on, hands-on. We want you to learn QuickBooks Online by actually doing it, by actually going in and doing and creating the transactions and the reports and all of that so that it actually sinks in your brain. So to help you do that, we offer a free Getting Started course. Everybody who is a member of the Locker Room gets this free course that's going to teach you how to get your free QBOA account. That's your QuickBooks Online Accountant account. How to navigate that account, what the terminology and workflows are. We're gonna talk about how to access the sample company, which is where we do all of our exercises. And then of course you'll get hands-on exercises for some of those early basic things that you need to know how to do before you go on. Okay. Also, inside the Locker Room, you get over 100 free exercises so that you can practice. Now, people are always asking me, how do I get to the free exercises? Where are they? So here's what you do. Those exercises are in the featured section of the group. There is a post that is welcome to the Locker Room. And there is right here the link, over 100 free hands-on exercises. So you click that, inside there's the link to get to the exercises, okay? In addition to those free exercises, you also get a free exercise of the week when you participate in the live stream live. So the exercise of the week is part of our paid subscription program called the QBO Gym. The QBO Gym is an opportunity. It's like a flight simulator for being a bookkeeper. You can think of it as your first client. You are presented with scenarios and you get to practice what it's actually like to be a bookkeeper. So as part of the QBO Gym, all of the work that you are doing is tracked in our proprietary skills verification platform called BooksMatch. And when you are a member of the gym, you have a profile that looks just like this, and we track the skills that you are actually learning in QuickBooks Online. And all of those, every exercise is coded with skills. Your skills are here so that we can show you off to potential people that will hire you. So it's called BooksMatch. We want to match you with clients that need you. So the exercise of the week, one of the things that we measure is your consistency. We want to make sure that you are upskilling at least every 2 weeks. And so we provide an exercise of the week. And the exercise of the week is unlocked once you have achieved 250 points in the gym. So the gym itself is all gamified, and you know, dings and whistles, and you earn points and badges. And when you earn 250 points, it unlocks the exercise of the week. Now, the reason it doesn't unlock earlier is because as long as you are working on any exercises, your consistency is going to be high. You're going to be able to have that be green. But for some people, once they have fully completed all that there is to do in the gym, then they need an exercise. They need to do something in order to maintain their consistency. And that's why we have the exercise of the week. But it has the added bonus of also you guys get it for free when you join the live stream. So the exercise of the week is its own course inside your, after you after you get those 250 points, it unlocks this new course called the Exercise of the Week. And that is what we're going to go over today. So today's exercise, so we're going to go right here to click to practice creating and applying a vendor credit. Okay, so we're going to click that link. It's going to open up our exercise. And for the first half of this year, we are working through ProAdvisor challenges that are provided by Intuit. Okay, so here is the scenario. Your client, Craig, has returned 2 items to a vendor and he needs your help. Here's what you need to know. He needs your help. I think that's not quite finished yet. So when we get into it, we'll see what it says. But here's what you need to know. The vendor is Norton Lumber. This is the credit that it was issued. The vendor credit number, the bill is for $205. Here's what you need to do. Record the vendor credit. Apply the credit to the vendor payment. So that's what we're going to do today. Let's talk about where you find this challenge. If you want to do the Intuit version of the challenge, this is inside your ProAdvisor account, okay? So on the left navigation bar, you're going to hover over ProAdvisor. You're going to click Training and go to the Training Library, okay? So let's do just that much. So here I am in a QBOA account. I can tell that I'm in a QBOA account. Again, that's QBO Accountant account. I can tell that I'm in a QBOA account because it says Accountant right here, because the left menu bar is gray, and because it's divided into these sections, your practice up here and your books right here, okay? So that if all of those things are true, you are in an accountant account. And the accountant account has this section called ProAdvisor. And you can click right here to go to training. And this is where you'll find all of the free training that Intuit provides, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go here to the training library. And you'll notice that this first section, and my cursor doesn't like to follow me, so I'm just going to kind of plant it up there. This first section says product training, and then it says QuickBooks Online. So I'm going to close that up. It's usually open automatically when you first go in, but you see that there's training there for QuickBooks Online, QuickBooks Payments, QuickBooks Online Payroll, and QuickBooks Time, okay? But in addition to the product training, they also have foundation skills, advising clients, okay? Other trainings that you can do, okay? But for our purposes today, we are going to do QuickBooks Online training. So I'm going to click this again. I'm going to go back to our exercise, okay? And so here we clicked the training library. We went to QuickBooks Online. It was already expanded at first. And now we're going to go to the expenses and vendors tile. So if you look in the training here, you'll notice that each module is on, it kind of looks like a tile here. So we're going to hit expenses and vendors, okay? And then we have all of the individual lessons inside that module. And going back to the exercise, we want intermediate skills, and we're looking for lesson number 3, creating vendor credits. Okay, so I'm going back here. And so now I'm in beginner skills, okay, and intermediate skills, advanced skills. So you see how that's broken up. And then what we want is, I think I said intermediate skills, right? Yeah, intermediate skills right here. Okay, so I'm going to click intermediate skills, and I'm looking at creating vendor credits. Okay, so this is the lesson that we're going to go into. Before I go into that, though, I just want to point out real quick, this little icon right here, if you hover over it, it will tell you that this is information that is tested in the QuickBooks Online exam. This is the basic level exam. If I go to the advanced skills, you'll notice the icon is a little bit different. And when I hover over it, it says this is tested on the advanced exam. So that's how you know which ones are covered on which test, okay? So this is a topic that you do have to know for the basic level certification test. So I'm going to click creating vendor credits, okay? And then once you're inside here, you'll notice that on the right-hand side, it says ProAdvisor Challenge. Now, sometimes when I click ProAdvisor Challenge, it takes me right there. Let's see what happens. Nope. Other times, it doesn't take me right there because their interface for there's like other stuff that you have to do in this training. So let's just scroll through it and see what it is that we have to do in order to get to that training. And in this case, it's a knowledge check. So sometimes it's a knowledge check, sometimes it's something you have to click. In this case, it's a knowledge check. So let's see what it says. Which of the following statements is true about vendor credits in QuickBooks Online? First is vendor credits can't be applied to a bill that has already been received. That's not true because they can be applied to a bill that has been received. We're going to take a look at that, okay? It can't be applied to a bill that has already been paid, but it can be applied to a bill that has already been received. So that one's not correct. Vendor credits post as a debit to decrease accounts payable. Now, in order to know this, you have to know your debits and credits. So accounts payable, that is a debit. It's like a liability. It's something that you owe to accounts payable, stuff that you owe to other people. Okay. So once you no longer owe that to somebody, is that more or is it less? Okay. And is it decreasing it so that you owe less, or is it increasing it so that you owe more? Well, you're going to decrease it because you owe less. So this one is true. So let's see what this says. A vendor credit can be linked to a cash refund when the cash is deposited. No, that's not related at all. Okay. And then we have a debit to increase accounts payable. So we know that that's right. Okay. All right. So we're going to continue training, and now we're going to get to our ProAdvisor challenge. Okay. So the ProAdvisor challenges are what Intuit provides. They're kind of like exercises that you can do to hands-on test something in the sample company. Okay. So in order to do this, they're going to lead you through, and here is the task, which is what we would call the scenario. Okay. So here it says, your client Craig has returned 2 items to a vendor and he needs your help. That is actually how it ends. So our exercise, that's what it says right here, and he needs your help. If it were my exercise, I would probably say something like he needs help applying this to his bill. Yeah. So the reason that people like our materials is sometimes they can be a little bit faster and easier, hence Fast and Easy QBO. Okay, but we are so grateful for the training that Intuit provides, so we're going to keep going through it, okay? All right, so here is the task or the scenario. Then it says, how did you do? So this just says what it should look like if you did it correctly, okay? It doesn't have the steps, but if you want the steps, then you click here, Our Solution, and you go through this, no pictures or anything. So again, most people prefer our format for the exercises, and so that's what we're going to work through, okay? So this is what we've done. We have the ProAdvisor challenge there. Now this exercise, almost all of our exercises use the sample company, and so we're going to load up the sample company. We do that by going to the gear icon, selecting sample company. Again, you have to be an accountant account to be able to do this. When you load the sample company, it will log you out of your account, which means don't do it during the test. If you're taking the test, don't load the sample company. Of course, if you're in our courses, we'll teach you how to have both open at the same time. But yeah, don't do that during the test. All right, so we are loading up the sample company. So now that that's loaded, we're going to go back to our exercise. Remember, it's not, it will log you out. Okay. So here's the exercise. We're reminding ourselves what the scenario is. Okay. So it doesn't really say this in the exercise, but let's just step back for a minute and talk about what a vendor credit is, okay? So a vendor credit means that one of the people you pay, a vendor, is telling you that you don't have to pay as much in the future. Now, a vendor credit could be, I don't know, maybe they sent you a coupon in the mail, or maybe something was damaged. And so they said, oh, well, you don't have to pay for that thing. Or maybe you bought too much, and so you're taking some back, okay? So, and instead of giving you your money back, they are going to, instead of giving you your money back, they're going to say, oh, well, in the future, you just have to pay less, okay? So that's what a vendor credit is. A vendor credit can only be applied, as I mentioned, to an existing bill that hasn't been paid yet, or you can just put it out there in the future so that the next time you buy something from that vendor, you can use that credit, okay? All right, so let's see how to actually do this, okay? The first thing we have to do is we have to create the vendor credit before it is applied to the bill. Now, this exercise assumes that the bill is already out there, and it says there is a bill out there for Norton Lumber and Building Materials for $205. It's already out there in the sample company. It's already out there for us, so we don't have to create the bill, but we have to create the credit before we can apply it to the bill, okay? So before we head over to do this, I'm going to click this little button that says Guide Me. The reason that I have this button is because I have loaded the Scribe How extension on my in my Google Chrome browser, okay? So you can load all of our exercises are created with Scribe, and you can add this little browser and or this little extension to your browser, and when you do that, you're going to click, when you click Guide Me, it will actually do the exercise and the sample company side by side, which is easier to walk through. But also you can also just do it yourself, right? You can also just, if you have a big enough monitor and you want to see it, you can just create little tabs, windows by themselves and put them next to each other. Or what I used to do, you may have seen me do on other videos, is I just go between the two tabs, okay? So whatever works for you. So here we are in the exercise. And so what we're going to do, let me go, here we go, okay? So we're going to click the plus new button and select vendor credit, okay? So we're going to hit plus new, and we're going to select vendor credit. Now remember, this is a vendor, which means it's money out. It's like we have paid a vendor and they are giving us credit for something. It is different than a credit memo. A credit memo is what we use for our customers, okay? So it's the opposite. So we sold something to a customer and they returned it, or they, something, broke or didn't work or whatever. And so we extend our customers credit, okay? So that is, that's a credit memo. What we're talking about today is a vendor credit. Okay, so I'm going to select vendor credit. All right, and then, so in the vendor field, we're going to select Norton Lumber and Building Materials. Norton, there it is. Okay, the payment date will default to today. Okay, so here is, this is the day that I'm recording this. That's going to be different than the date on the exercise, and it's going to be different when you're watching this video. So in a real life scenario, you want to make sure that the dates are always correct. When we're dealing with this sample company, the dates are always changing, and so the dates are never going to be the same when you're working on our exercises. Okay. Now, in the reference number field, we're going to type 200. Okay, so this is the vendor credit number. And 100. The only way that you would have this vendor credit number is if the vendor gave it to you. Okay, so if the vendor said, oh yeah, you don't have to pay whatever this is going to be, I don't remember, but you don't have to pay 10 bucks on your next bill, then the vendor, if the vendor gave you a number and here's the number, you know, to use as reference, that's when you would put in a reference number. Okay, that's what it came from, the vendor. That's what this is. So we're going to put 100. Okay, and then we have to say what this is for. Now, in this particular scenario, the credit is for 2 inventory items that were, I don't know, you know, returned or broken or, you know, whatever. Okay, so because they are inventory items, my chair is really noisy. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Because they are inventory items, we want to use the item details grid. Okay, so we're going to put these in the item details grid. This is one of the challenging things with expenses that people always get confused about. Okay, is the difference between category grid, category details, and item details. Category details is when the category is just something straight from the chart of accounts. If the vendor just said, yeah, we're going to give you, 20 bucks, and it wasn't for a particular item that got broken, then you would use the category grid. But in this case, in this scenario, this is specifically for inventory items that were, whatever happened to them, damaged or whatever. Okay, so because of that, we're going to put them in the item details grid. We are going to click the arrow next to the items details grid to expand the grid, which I already did that, but that's right here. Okay, so we want to make sure that's there. Then on the first line in the product services field, we're going to select pump. So right here, select pump. And the quantity is 2. Okay. And that's all there is to it. So I'm just going to hit save and close. Now, this vendor credit is just out there, just hanging out in the breeze, right? We want to actually apply this to an existing bill that's open. Okay. We could apply it to a bill in the future, but in this scenario, we're applying it to a bill that exists currently. Okay. So the first thing we have to do is we have to find that bill. We have to find the bill that we want to apply to. Okay. From the left navigation bar, we're going to hover over expenses. There are a number of ways to find the bill, by the way. This is just one way. This is the way that the exercise tells you to do it. Okay. So we're going to go to expenses. Okay. And scroll down to find the original bill. Make sure it is the bill, not the purchase order. Okay. So here we can see the types of, I don't know why they did it this way. I don't know why. Let me just scroll this. All right, so here is the vendor credit that's out there. I don't know why they're using this method to find it, but here we go. Let me scroll here. Okay, so we're gonna find the bill. So here's a bunch of credit card expenses. Okay, so here is that bill. Here's that bill, Norton Lumber and Building Materials, and it is $205. Okay. And so what we want to do is we want to mark this bill as paid. And one of the ways we can do that is directly from this down arrow. Okay. So let me just read this real quick. Get this a little bigger so you can see it. Okay. So this is what we just did. Scroll down to find the original bill. Make sure it's the bill, not the purchase order. On that line in the action column, click the down arrow next to schedule payment and then select paid. Okay, select mark as paid. Okay, so here we are right here. I'm going to do this little down arrow and I'm going to select mark as paid. Okay, when I do that, you'll notice I have in the top half here these are the outstanding transactions. This is the bill that's outstanding for $205. This is the vendor credit that's hanging out there and basically saying, do you want to apply this to this bill? And that's, of course, exactly what we're going to do. Okay, so that's what this picture is. Okay, and it says click Save and Close. And that's it. Now we have applied that $20. And you can see here that the bill payment, okay, so now it is $185 is left on that bill, okay? Don't ask me why it says credit card. Okay. Alrighty, so that is, let me just close this, go back to our big one, okay, and that is our exercise. Now, so this is vendor credits. So once you have completed the exercise, then you're going to go back and you are going to check this little box. Now, if you are in the gym, remember that in order for you to get your books match credit, okay, so this is a vendor credit, so this is going to be under expense and vendor management, okay. So here, vendor credits, if you want a vendor credit skill point, you have to make sure that you go and you check this, you go through the exercise, you click this link, and then when you're done, you get this little ka-ching, and that will apply that skill to books match. Now, one of the things that we always do with the exercise of the week is provide you with a marketing prompt. The reason that we provide you with a marketing prompt is because I heard so many people say, I know that I need to post on social media, but I don't know what to say. Well, now you know what to say. So when you're in the gym proper, as you work through the gym, you earn marketing prompts, and the same is true in the exercise of the week. So all of the exercises of the week have this marketing prompt, and here's what it says. It says, you learned about vendor credits. Here's a sample post. Hey, business owner, so your vendor messed up and they have offered you a credit on your most recent bill. Trouble is, you've already entered it in QuickBooks Online. What now? Don't delete it and start over. I'll show you what to do instead. Let's connect. Okay? Now, let's talk about how to use that marketing prompt. Now, I am not a marketer. I'm not a marketing strategist. We are not a marketing company. However, we do, because so many people have asked, we do promote one method of marketing, and I'm going to show you how to use that marketing prompt in that method. So let me just show you what it looks like, okay? So this is the only type of marketing that we recommend or support at all, and that is the 3-2-1 method, which is adapted from a company called Bold House, and we have used with their permission. Okay, so under the 3-2-1 method, you are going to 3 times a day directly reach out to specific people. Okay, this is not you're hanging up a poster in the Chamber of Commerce or you're sending an email to like everyone on your list. No, you are reaching out to 3 individuals, and you can do that via email, text, phone, DM, like whatever. Doesn't matter what the method. And you're simply going to say, hey, I'm a QuickBooks Online ProAdvisor. Who do you know that I could connect with? Which, by the way, if you are not a QuickBooks Online ProAdvisor, become a QuickBooks Online ProAdvisor. We make it super fast and easy, hence the name, Fast and Easy QBO. We make it super fast and easy. You can do it in a weekend. You learn QuickBooks Online, then you get the badge and the certificate and the bragging rights to be able to say, hey, I'm a QuickBooks Online ProAdvisor. And then you start talking to people and you say, hey, I'm a QuickBooks Online ProAdvisor. Who do you know that I could connect with? You are not selling your services. You are not doing a sales pitch. All you're doing is you're asking your network who they know that's number one, a small business owner, and number two, uses QuickBooks Online. All you want to do is connect with them, okay? Now, once you've done all this activity, and you should have every week 15 people that you have reached out to, then hopefully out of those 15 people and the people that they recommend, you are 2 times per week going to connect with actual potential clients. What's an actual potential client? It is a small business owner that uses QuickBooks Online in their business, okay? Now, when you reach out to these people, you're still not pitching your services. They don't know you, you don't know them. All you're doing is introducing yourself and saying, hey, I'm a QuickBooks Online ProAdvisor. I would love to stay connected in case you need any help. Okay, that's all it is. It's just, you're not pitching. This is not a pitching, sales, anything. It's just, hey, I'm a QuickBooks Online ProAdvisor. Just wanted to stay connected in case you need any help. And then what you're going to do is you're going to connect with them on LinkedIn. Now, you could connect with them, some other way, but LinkedIn is where professionals hang out, okay? And that's like the social network that's expected to talk about business, okay? So you're going to connect with them on LinkedIn. And then you want to make sure in your LinkedIn profile that it says that you are QuickBooks Online ProAdvisor, okay? Now, you don't want to say you're a QBO ProAdvisor because nobody knows what QBO is, okay? You want it to say QuickBooks Online ProAdvisor, and by putting it in your byline, everything that you do now says, I'm a QuickBooks Online ProAdvisor, okay? So you're going to have that in your byline, and then a couple of times per week, you are going to post some tips on using QuickBooks Online, okay? Now, again, people don't know what to say, so that's why we have the marketing prompts. That's why we have the prompt that I just read to you. Now you know about vendor credits, and you can talk to somebody about vendor credits, okay? So you can post that as is. Some people put it in Canva and make it like a little pretty image. We have one student who plugs it into ChatGPT and creates a whole article about it. It doesn't matter what you do with it, okay? The point is to just drop those little seeds so that people know that you are the one to reach out to, okay? So in addition to a couple of times a week you posting QBO tips, you're also going to like and comment on other people's posts, okay? Remember, when you like a comment, somebody sees, or, when you like somebody's post, they see your, they see your byline, okay? And then when you comment, now listen to me carefully. When you comment, this is still not a sales pitch. You are not, when you comment on something, you're not saying, hey, do you need a bookkeeper? Oh, hey, I can be your bookkeeper. Oh, hey, do you have any job openings? No. Be a normal, natural human being, okay? A normal, natural human being comments on a post that is relevant to the post. Say, oh, that's really interesting. Oh, thanks for posting. Oh, hey, have you ever thought about whatever it is, a normal, natural human being, okay? So you're going to post on there so that people see your byline and they develop trust in you. They know who you are, okay? In general, all you're doing is you are flying your flag, waving your flag, so that people know who to turn to when they need help, okay? How many realtors do you know? Okay, the reason that you know who the realtors are is because realtors constantly tell you that they are realtors, okay? And that's the same thing. You've got to always be waving your flag and telling people that you are a ProAdvisor so that people can eventually know, like, and trust you, because that's who they're going to do business with, the people they know, like, and trust, okay? Now, with all of this activity, the goal then is once per month for you to be able to do a diagnostic review, okay? And the way that you're going to land that diagnostic review is simply by saying, hey, I am a QuickBooks Online ProAdvisor. Would you like me to take a look at your books and see how you're doing? Okay, so you've developed a relationship with somebody. You're just going to reach out and say, hey, would you like me to do this? And see how you're doing. No obligation, no, charge. Some people say you should charge for these, but other people don't. If you don't know how to do a diagnostic review, by the way, we teach you how to do that in our cleanup course, where we'll teach you how to actually look at somebody's books and see what's going on and figure out how to charge them and how to talk to them so that you can actually land the deal if they're ready for it. But if you don't have our course, if you don't want to use our course, there's other courses out there. There's YouTube videos. There's, other mentors that can teach you how to do a diagnostic review or a consultation. The important thing is for you to do it. Speaking of the cleanup course, if you're in the cleanup course, another option when you reach out to these people is just to say, hey, I just finished a course on diagnostic reviews and I'm looking for practice. Would you be up for having me take a look at your books? Like, that's all it is. And so that's an opportunity for you to reach out and demonstrate your expertise and actually land the client. Okay. All right. So with that, that is, I think all that I have to talk to you about today. It's kind of weird to do this pre-recording because usually, like, I do my spiel and then I'm dealing with the questions and comments in the chat. And so it's kind of weird for me to come out of my presentation and not have, have chats to answer because it's pre-recorded. One thing that people are typically ask is about recertification. Recertification landed on May 6th from Intuit. We are busy creating our recertification materials, and by the time this goes live, maybe we'll have it. Maybe we'll have it available. It usually takes us about 2 weeks to get it out to you. And I want, in case you missed it, they're giving a $5,000 gift card to Airbnb to one lucky winner who got recertified before May 31st. And I want you to be the winner. I want you to be the winner. So get recertified before May 31st. All right. And that's it. I will see you next week live inside the locker room. Until then, I can't wait to hear your success story.